I can say I got humbled a little bit yesterday, having a deep conversation with someone that I would have never expected even had a one-on-one conversation with, and I can tell that there wasn't like things on our mind, but you can always see, what someone has been through. If you're actually connected, with a high level frequency when it comes to people, that's just something that I'm actually connected to. I'm more connected to the energy than just than the vision or the visual. But just having this conversation last night just made me understand a whole bunch of things. Like, we judge people a little bit way too much. This woman is very beautiful, very intelligent, very stern, plays no games. When I say play no games, I don't care who comes in contact with her. You have to respect her. First and foremost, she's not going to let you talk to her any kind of way. She's not going to let you steer her in the wrong direction. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you have. You cannot tear this wall down, even if you tried to. I've been knowing her for years, and I've watched so many different transitions of her. Not saying that I know her business, but I've watched transitions, and I've seen how she's been climbing this ladder and climbing this ladder and climbing this ladder and getting herself in positions that most people wouldn't even take the chance to get themselves in. And she was expressing things, that she had been going through and just telling me a couple of stories. And I was so intrigued because I could understand and identify with everything that she was saying. But in retrospect, she was telling me she was pretty much just telling me things that just reminded me so much. And I guess that it was funny because maybe she was paying more attention to me than I thought she was. And like I said, this is all out of respect. When you have real friends, or you can identify with people that are just like you, it makes it easier to have conversations. And just having a conversation with her yesterday was just I was just real I was at peace. Let me get you to understand something. When I say this woman is beautiful, she's a very beautiful young lady. But when I say the story she told me yesterday and where she came from and the things that she's gotten through and the stuff that she's actually going through, it's still not breaking her, and she could care less about what anybody thinks, what anybody tries. She's really on the level to where she's gonna climb that ladder. She's gonna get where she's got to go. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't judge her. I mean, I thought that she probably was outside, for a little bit. I'm not gonna say like she was wild outside. I'm like, but I knew she was probably outside. Come to find out, nothing like that. Just peaceful within, pretty much how I am. A lot of solitude. Not saying she isolates herself, but she really, for real, just more focuses on getting herself to a point to where she doesn't need anyone. And I respect that more than anything because I know how it is with most people, with the majority of individuals that I know always need someone to be able to get them somewhere. And she take the initiative to do it herself. Like, I, I I'm blessed to be able to be in the presence of a lot of very beautiful women that actually carry themselves in a certain way to where they're not really worried about I gotta have my man, my man, my man, all that. They're more worried about is I gotta get my money. I gotta make sure my situation's cool. I gotta make sure my family's taken care of. I was raised by somebody that had way more integrity, had intelligence, had patience, and taught me how to be able to maneuver in this world so that I didn't have to get caught up in certain things that everybody else got caught up in. I respect those type of women more because I was raised by women like that. No matter how I may see certain things, as far as how I know some women are, like, I have the utmost respect for women who actually carry a torch and actually, when I say they walk with that motherfucker and don't let the flame burn out for shit, I respect those individuals, especially the women that I know that been through a lot and they may not express it. And You know how it's most people look at you, just for for the imagery, for what you look like. They're not taking time to get to know who you are. They're not trying to actually build a relationship with you, or they don't care about all that. All they see is, the vanity. What is that they can get out of you? How could they manipulate you to get you to get in a vulnerable state to where they feel like you're gonna lose yourself because they tried to put something on you that you was already aware of. So my head always goes off to women like that, and I'm thankful to have a conversation that I did with her. And I'm not gonna go too much further into this situation because I like to keep these very brief. But my hats go off to any woman that's out there, facing their demons, fighting their situations, trying to stay away from the people that's trying to bother them, put harm to them, or even make them feel that they're more of a threat than that person is. Shout out to the women that believe in hard work, dedication, respect themselves, trying to get to the next level, or really working on the goals and not being discouraged by what everybody else is doing around them. And I'm always gonna tilt my hat, off to any individual that's like that. But we're gonna speak mainly on the women that actually have, a level of intelligence that people don't think they do because they look a certain way. And until then, man, like I say, God bless everyone, and y'all have a great day.